let's clean our vapes, shall we? These are the Crafty and the Mighty vaporizers. And what I'm going to show you is how to clean them. So they're both very similar as far as the parts you need to clean and what the process is going to be. The herb chambers, or the base pieces of both, are pretty much identical. So what I'll do is I'll clean the base of the Mighty to show you how you do that, and then I'll clean the top piece of the Crafty. This is the Crafty, the smaller one. So the only difference with the top pieces is the size. So here's the stuff that you'll need. We got the extra spare parts kits that came with the vapes. In here is some extra O-rings, some extra screens. This is one of the extra top screens for the top piece. This is one of the chamber screens for the bottom piece. These are the two liquid pads that you would use if you're using concentrates or if you want to vape less than a full chamber. This is the brush that it comes with. We're going to use that. Now these are called precision tip cotton swabs. And these are like more rigid than normal ones, like this. You can use these if this is all you have, but I did find that these like leave more fuzzies and stuff, you know. So this one kind of works better, and these are the ones I happen to have. All right, then we have some isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. One I have here is 91%. And if you don't want to use rubbing alcohol when you're cleaning it, you can actually also use just warm soapy water using like dish soap like this. All right, and besides that, we have a regular paper towel, dry, and then a dampened paper towel, dampened with water. And then over here, we also have a poker tool. This is from a different vape, but it is pretty convenient. A toothpick might work also. Basically, this is the thing that you're going to need to get the bottom screen out of the chamber. So let's start with that, and I'll do the bottom on the Mighty. All right, so the bottom screen you really shouldn't have to change often. You'll see that I barely have any residue built up on mine. Basically, to keep it clean, just brush it out thoroughly after each use. If you do it while the vape is still warm, it'll get it even cleaner and keep it cleaner for longer. And actually, if you heat your vape up first before doing this whole cleaning process, it'll make the whole thing easier. So, to get this bottom screen out, take your little pick and try to get it in one of the sides, like underneath the screen. It's a little tricky, but there you go. All right, and it's pretty much gonna mess up the screen doing this, but there you go. Screen is out. I have a couple of herb speckles at the bottom there. So I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna turn it upside down while I do this. I'm just gonna brush it out a little bit. All right. So now, take the bottom screen. This is the one with the finer pores. And basically, just push it down there as even as you can. And it should pretty much just end up fitting into place. There's like a little ridge around the bottom. And then it's basically in there. So that's it. All right. Now the O-ring here, if you wanted to replace that, you could actually just use the pick tool that's built into the vape. And basically, you're just going to get it underneath the O-ring and then lift up like that. It'll come right off. If there's any residue built up on here, you can wipe it off with the paper towel in either the alcohol or the warm soapy water. Mine doesn't really need to be replaced or cleaned right now, so to get it back on, just put one side in first, and then it should snap right back into place. So that's all there is to do down here. So I'm going to put this vape off to the side now, and I will clean the top piece or the cooling unit on the Crafty. So this top piece actually comes apart into a few different pieces. So the first thing you're going to do is pull out the mouthpiece by gently rocking it back and forth, and it snaps out. Has a tiny little O-ring on here. Mine's not really dirty at all, so I don't even need to take mine off and replace it. But if you did want to take it off, you could use the pick tool or, you know, if you have a tool like this. Next thing you're going to do is unlock this top piece just by pulling down, and then the whole bottom should pull out like that. Now, STORZ&BICKEL says that you can actually soak this part in rubbing alcohol if you wanted to for like up to an hour. You don't want to go longer than that, and I wouldn't even really do that or do it often, because you could end up discoloring, you know, the material that this is made of. So this is the area now that you'll take one of these and give it a little dippage. All right, and then you can go all in here. All right. And then after doing that, I'm going to grab my dampened paper towel with water and just give it a quick once over. All right. Then bottom part, you can do the same thing. All right, now this top piece has 2 O-rings that you can replace. And again, I'm just going to grab out the pick tool. So this outer one, the main one, take that out by just getting the tool under and then going like that. All right, and it comes off. So you'll see that I have some residue on mine. So what I'm going to do is take my dry paper towel and I'm going to dip it. All right, let it soak in. And I'm just going to go like this. All right. Then I'll take my damp one and just go like that. All right, and I can even take this again and go in here. All right, and the O-ring, let's put that on, and then it'll pop right back into place like that. All right, and then that other one inside here, do the same thing, just pop it up. Mine's fairly clean, so I'm just going to pop it back on. All right, there we go. Now, the screen, you can actually pop out with this tool. Just wipe it off a little bit. So basically, you just take it and push, and then there you go. Screen starts popping out. You could just take it, you could clean in there. I could actually salvage this screen and put it back in. You can clean this with ISO. So I'm going to take another one of these and clean out this part a little bit. It's going to be really hard to get it 100% clean, like perfect, but it really doesn't matter. You really don't have to. Just do this every once in a while, maybe every dozen sessions or so. It'd be a good idea to do this, but it'll go longer. It's not going to hinder the performance if you go longer. It's just going to make it a little more difficult when you finally do clean it. So then after that, we can put this screen in, and this thing should sort of just pop into place. Just put it in gently. You could even use this thing again to just snap in the edges. It's a little groove. And there you go. All right. And that's pretty much it. You know, this part is then gonna, well, actually, this has to be unlocked. There you go. So this part will push into place. Just relock it. Mouthpiece. You just snap it back in. And then there you go. Now the liquid pads, you can soak these in the ISO, you know, whatever, for like an hour or two, and then run it through some hot water. These will get pretty clean after you do that. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And listen, if you forget to clean it and you go a really, really long time or whatever, and this part ends up being so bad that it's really difficult to clean, this part is actually not that expensive to replace. So you can just get a whole new one. It's really not that much. But, you shouldn't have to really do that. You shouldn't even really have to change the O-rings for quite a while. You should be able to clean those at least a few times, probably even more. The screens will probably require replacing more often, just because when you take them out, you could bend them, and then they can't really go back in, or at least the bottom one anyway. So if you have any questions or any tips to do this better, let me know. Stay up.